Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and are making some really good trades as per usual. Let's dive into the analysis here. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. Let's take a look at the S&P. What's going on today, Markets seem to be on some shaky legs. The SPY was down 30 basis points. Excuse me. The Qs were down 76 basis points. The Dow Jones down 18 basis points. And the IWM only down 14 basis points. It's actually up in the after hours. So overall, tech got hit pretty hard today, and rightfully so. Some really bad news came out on some earnings here on AMD, and on top of that, you had SMCI getting pounded into the ground here on Ernest and Young leaving them after auditors found out that they were doing some potential fraud. So your auditor leaving you is definitely not a good thing. And when that went, it fueled the fire for AMD. So again, the count is beautiful. It has been respected. We've been tracking AMD for quite some time now, nailing the highs to the tick, coming down and impulsing down now in a wave 3. So this should carry us down, potentially down into the 100 levels here over time. Once it gets down here, it is a long-term buying opportunity for hopefully a long-term low and set up for more upside after that. Now, I've been checking the semis here. I've been keeping a close eye on the daily cycle to see what's going on. Can we, pump higher and get into the 269 to 282 area? And really, it's not looking that great right now. You could take a look at the daily cycle here. It's very tough to chart, but again, I'm guessing that the trend is losing a lot of momentum and it is starting to break towards the downside, which is not a good thing, right? You can need to take a look at the 4-hour cycle too. The 4-hour cycle actually did break here and confirmed that the top could potentially in, especially after this big red candle. So you may have just ended this C leg and now you're just consolidating and getting ready for that move down. So if you don't get this upside here, then this could have truncated, and you're not gonna get that big. You're not gonna get that last pump here, and the sell-off is going to begin. And if that's the case, then you better get ready for some pain in tech, because I can guarantee you that the NASDAQ won't stay up if the semis start to implode. And basically, the entire NASDAQ is semis just pumping now. So if the semis do bad, then the NASDAQ is definitely not going to do good either. So that's basically it. And then you can take a look here at a few other things that I want to mention. So Google had earnings as well. And again, if you guys watched my video yesterday, I did not say that, I'm going to call the top here. No, I said that there's a potential good chance that tomorrow at the open, you were going to gap up and you're going to fill this gap here right at 181. And what's funny, what was respected was my sell area. We hit it basically to the tick at the top of the range and then reverse. We also filled the gap, and then it's been pure selling since then. Selling nonstop throughout the day and down in the after hours. So I actually expect the top to be potentially in for Google now. So I'll go a little bit out of my way, go a little bit bold today. We'll be calling the top on Google and maybe getting ready for a big impulse down. Obviously, now that we've reached the top of the range, the target has changed, and we should be getting ready for some lower prices, but obviously not as bad. Oops, sorry, I think I'm miscalculating this one here. Okay, I'm gonna get this over here. There we go. And yeah, so we shouldn't be going as low. It was a little bit better, I think, when we were down here. But now that we're up here, the target is not as bad. Well, I mean, it's still very bad if we do end up dropping this low. But now the target should be between 140 to 114. And there's going to be lots of denial. No, that's impossible. Never going to happen. I mean, I was telling you guys, when SMCI was up in the stratosphere and you had that big move come in and end here, You made a new high on a fifth wave with some divergence. That was it. And the euphoria when we're up here, when the shares were still $1,000 a share, it was like, oh, if you're not buying this stock for the long term, you're an idiot. It's going to 2,000 now, which would be 200 when we're up here. Like, it's going to easily 300. It's going to $3,000 a share by the end of the year. And, it just ended up falling apart. And I was playing the bullish narrative because we had that big momentum. I said it could easily keep going up. If it holds this level, it needs to do a 1-2, 1-2, and it needs to impulse out right now, right here, right now. It needs to do it, and it did not. And when it started failing, I said, okay, the waterfall sell-off may start to begin. And there you go. It started. You had that wave A, B, and now you're in the final C leg. The buy area is all the way down here. When people were buying in here, I said this is a long-term low. You're never going to see these prices again. Again, I've heard it. I've heard the stories, right? Again, you guys are buying shares that people bought all the way down here at $2 a share. Again, at the time, it was $30 a share. So it wasn't, it didn't look so cheap. So it was still $30 a share, but it was still on a massive squeeze up, right? $3 to 100. That's like 3,000%. These people were unloading. Now all the frauds coming out, yada, 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 right? And again, it could be a long-term buy, but it's a big range. So it could actually chop here for a long time before it gets out of its downtrend. And again, it can easily continue to extend. If this thing extends, which looks like the weekly isn't over, this could see more downside, and the monthly isn't over either. And the monthly is you're ending a monthly cycle. Like this is a long-term top for now, and this is gonna correct down. So again, hopefully you guys were watching my videos and didn't succumb to the FOMO and oh my god, I need to get in now kind of thing. And there you go. Anyways, let's head over here. We'll take a look at a few other ones. So I think Microsoft had earnings as well. So Microsoft, I told you guys as well, we're most likely going to be in this 1-2 setup. I was bearish on Microsoft, but I was also open to the idea that we could actually maybe hit this level here. And if we did, we will actually go a little bit higher, close to the all-time highs. Did not happen, and now it is starting to impulse down. You're down how many percentage points? 3.47% on Microsoft in the after hours. Meta, I was actually very hopeful for Meta to get us up in this fifth wave. Let me see if we broke the all-time highs. We did not. So it's still possible that Meta could do this fifth wave here. Actually, did we break the all-time highs? No, we didn't. But I was actually very hopeful for Meta to do another fifth wave, but it's actually only down 2.5 or 3% in the after hours. So something like this is not out of the not out of the questions. But again, we're gonna have to see how the market maintains its emotions tomorrow, or doesn't maintain them at all, goes crazy and just starts to panic sell and fall apart. But we'll have to see. And tomorrow's is a monthly candle close, so tomorrow the month is going to come to an end. Is it going to come to an end in a very dramatic fashion? You got elections next week. Like, man, there's so many things are happening right now that the market volatility is very high. And inside the Discord, we've been hedging volatility against these the market continuing to rise, because volatility has continued to go up regardless of the new all-time highs, which is very interesting. So yeah, Google, Microsoft, not good, not doing too good right now. Tesla held up quite well throughout all of this emotions today, and is still holding up in the after hours. NVIDIA definitely struggling here, but I continue to think that NVIDIA could still make another high instead of a fifth wave. So fifth wave can easily extend here for NVIDIA, and we'll continue to monitor it if it can make this fifth wave high. But again, it's very risky to buy these last waves, because there's no guarantee that they're going to play out. And then there you go, Roku in the after hours. We'll take a look at the let me get on the smaller candles here, the extended trading hours. So you can see I was mapping out this buy area for you guys for a very long time, and look where we stopped and entered right at the close. There you go. that's your, oops, I didn't mean to adjust that. There's your buy area being respected and held. Now we're gonna have to see at the open tomorrow, does this count hold? It should hold. If it does not, which by the way, I need to adjust this this count here accordingly to the new highs in the after hours. So if it does respect the move like this tomorrow, then that's great. Like Roku's in a great buying opportunity because you're inside of this wave 3 and you should start to impulse out, but not the greatest right now. It's down like 12% in the after hours. Roku has been known for making big moves up and big moves down, so we'll have to see how that plays out. PayPal, we'll check PayPal real quick. So PayPal not moving too much. Continue to think that it's starting to break its 4-hour daily cycle as well. So it's starting to break its cycle. It needs to correct down a little bit before it can continue to move higher. Let me get back to the regular trading hours. And yeah, so we've been analyzing and covering all these names for a very long time. Everyone in the Discord knows we've just been analyzing these stocks. Some of my members are taking plays left and right, gapping up on Google today. I don't know if Chris made any money on those calls, but hopefully he did. And then I'll continue to analyze the yields as well. So we'll get back to the analysis. So TLT, I think, should be bouncing here. I think TLT needs to, get a bit of a relief rally. So you can see right now, the daily cycle and the 4-hour cycle is starting to break. We found a nice little high here at the moment, and let's see. Or sorry, a nice little low. And today may have marked the low after the 4-hour broke, but we'll know more tomorrow. Tomorrow's a PCE, so yeah, maybe yields do start to come back down because the data, the PC data is much lower, and the market can get a relief rally, or maybe it's a risk off event, right? We'll have to see. But yeah, let's check the daily cycle as well. And the daily cycle has come to an end. So if this is over, then you're most likely going to see, man, why can I not put this here? So if this is starting to come to an end, you're most likely going to see the TLT go back up. You're going to see yields come down, and it may be a risk-off event. The VIX is set up in a very bullish pattern right now. It's above 20. It's ready to explode higher, in my opinion. So you might see some turmoil come in the next coming days or so. The next trading days, maybe it really starts to blow out, and then you see all the panic come back, and it's a setup for a great buying opportunity. Right now, WTI oil is still inside of this wave 3. It's taking its time to make its way down. I think maybe it wants to fill the gap, then start to sell off. We'll have to see. Natural gas is just chopping about. Let's take a look at the yield. So again, the yields is the same as the TLT. It's just the opposite, right? Because one's the bond, one's the yield. So, sorry, the bond price. So right now you got the impulse done. It should be coming down inside of this wave too. You should see the yield start to come back down. If I see a retest of this downsloping trend line, and it holds, and this trend line holds as well, then guess what, guys? This is a setup for a short on the bonds, because you may see a big surge back up in yields. And maybe that's really what propels the markets lower. Right now, there's lots of euphoria in the market, or maybe not today, but lately, just buying it up, sending it higher. It's moon time, and people are getting very, 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 very risk on at these all-time highs, expecting another breakout to new highs, which can happen. And we're open to that idea. We're not permanently bearish, and we're not permanently bullish. We're doing analysis on the market as we go. Let me take a look at the daily cycle on the SPY. So yeah, I think the SPY may have broken the SPY definitely broke the daily cycle here, and it's confirmed that it may start its downtrend. So maybe this truncates. The fifth wave ends early, and it's a big sell-off that's going to come. The Qs are a little bit tougher because the Qs are naturally very, very bullish right now, and they're still okay. They're still intact. Now, if you get on the futures, it's a different story. On the futures, I actually did check the futures here. You can see that everything is holding up still. It hasn't broken. It's actually in a potential buy area if it can hold. We'll have to see if it does hold, because right now it doesn't look like it, right? It's starting to break down a bit. And if the Nasdaq doesn't hold either, then you're gonna be experiencing a lot of pain very soon. And then the Dow Jones. So the Dow Jones definitely broke, and it's also coming down pretty hard at the moment. Dow Jones is actually set up for a big waterfall sell-off, in my opinion. I think it's a little bit too extended for what it is. But, who knows? And all right, so I think that's really everything that I wanted to cover here. There's no real good setup in the indices unless you're shorting the all-time highs, right? We'll talk about, finally, we'll wrap it up with USD JPY, the Japanese yen. We've been doing lots of analysis on as well, and I continue to track it. I still think it's potentially inside of this 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you know what? This could have ended right here. This may have marked the high, because you did. I think you took out the high. See here. No, you didn't take out the high. So it could actually technically still be in this wave, inside of this fifth wave. But for now, if you really want to mark the high, then that you got to pivot to trade against, which is 153. If it wants to sell off, then it's gonna do it, at any moment. And when you take a look at USD JPY on, let's see here, Wave Edge Market Cipher, it's got some green money flow. Got that going for it. 4-hour green dot, 1 hour time frame, not the greatest. I mean, these are smaller time frames. The weekly cycle bounced pretty hard. Very bullish weekly numbers as well. USD JPY. Yeah, getting some selling at the highs here. That's normal. Okay, now you're getting some selling on the daily. Is this gonna mark the top? Could be. Again, I very bearish on the Japanese. Very bearish on the U.S. dollar. I think the U.S. dollar is going to come down, and the Japanese yen is going to go higher in strength, which means this pair goes down. All right, so that's it for now, guys. Have a wonderful day. Hopefully you enjoyed the analysis, and I'll continue to give you guys updates. Peace.